Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I decided I wanted to paint another owl. Now this one's going to be black and white with a white background, unlike the first one I did that was originally on a black canvas. So I thought this would be interesting to show you guys and demonstrate how to paint an owl on a white canvas. So I'm using Winsor & Newton titanium white today. Mars black, Winsor & Newton as well. My new favorite brush, cat's tongue brush. It's really cool. This is a number 8. Okay, so what I'm going to do is make a light gray. Just taking a little bit of black and white and a little bit of water on my brush. If your gray is a little bit darker or a little bit lighter than this, that's totally fine. Any shade of gray will be fine. All right, so I'm going to start almost halfway, just a little below that halfway mark of your canvas. And I'm going to go down here. And his beak comes in right here. And this is just rough sketching this in right now. And the shape of his head. We're going to come right here with some feathers. We're going to lighten that up. That's why I love this brush so much, because you can push, pull, and you just get the best looking feathers and patterns effortlessly. Don't we all want a brush that's going to help make our job a lot easier? This is a great brush for doing that. I'm just going to take, this is just a quick exercise today, guys. Anybody watching this, if you're just a beginner, you've never painted an animal or a bird or an owl before, you can do this. I'm here to show you how and prove that anybody is capable of doing this. See, you just need a brush like this. Okay, I'm just going to keep pulling. These are going to be a little bit narrower in here. And then there's a triangle above his eye, and it comes around like this. Just using the tip of my brush to get the smaller little flicks and wispy looks. I'm going to take some black right now, come in with his beak again, making it a little bit wider this time. I'm going to get a little bit of water on my brush. I go right down here with tiny little ones, just using the very tip of my brush. They look like little arrows or little triangles. And then slide my brush down, straight down like this, very lightly. So the black is going to get a little bit thicker here. And then we're going to leave a white section right about here. And then come in with more black. And they're not going to be pointy on the end, these ones. Now they come out like this, up, 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 and then they start to curve over this way. So kind of long skinny lines, or blocks, or squares. Your owl doesn't have to look exactly like mine. And then just pushing lightly, kind of wiggling. Picking up a little bit of white now. And I'm just going to very lightly scumble and wiggle. Do a little circle in his eye. Just using the tip, pushing, pulling over. I'm just going to keep adding black on the tips of some of his feathers that are going in this direction, and then a little pattern. And I could actually use my fan brush to do that. I'll show you guys in a minute. Come in with some more black here. I'm going to wash my brush off and I'm going to switch over to a liner, a short. I'm going to take some white. Let's go around his eye, where I'll be coming in with white again. I might have to dry over this and then add the color of his eyes later. And then I'm just gonna kind of pull and turn my brush around here, sort of an arch. And then just scumble that white around. And then I'm going to come out with white right in here, go over top of the white canvas. I'm going to come in here. Where it meets up with the black. Grab some more white, go over this again, and pull right underneath. We'll be doing this a few times until we get it nice and bright. Bring that white in a little bit more, and then little pulls like this. Some more white. Just going to roll my brush like that with a white. This is going to create an interesting pattern that's going to make little tiny looking feathers. Go right over top of this black that we had here. Make it a little bit lighter. Just gonna do little arrows like this between the black and the gray. This will help to create that pattern. And then I'm going to just go back and forth, sliding my brush in an arch shape like that. And then I'm going to add little dabs. So I'm picking up quite a bit of paint here. Back to our little arrows. And guys, just use whatever type of liner brush you feel comfortable with, okay? It doesn't have to be one exactly like mine. Lines that pull down like that. We'll pull some white in there. Come back with black anytime we want. See how we get these nice tones of gray in there as well. Now I've got one of these brushes. It's a Wisp even tail fan brush. It's 3/8. It's a really neat brush to use. I've been using this one a lot actually. I'm going to get it a little bit wet, and I'm going to take light gray And I'm going to hold my brush this way on an angle first. We're going to pull some light gray lines down like that. If it doesn't show up, then you might want to use a darker shade. I'm going to load my brush up again. It will be normal if it runs out of paint fast, okay? So don't worry. And I'm going to go right from here. There's going to be a triangle from here and here. And I'm going to wiggle and pull some lines in. I'm going to come around here. You see how the brush is just doing the work? And then go out like this. I take some gray and I'm going to start lightly working on the shadow right here around his eye. So it comes out wider here. And we're going to start pulling and flicking gently. And I'm going to go back to this area now, turning my brush like this, pushing and wiggling. And I'm going to take white, a little bit of black, it's just so fun to create with this brush, all the neat patterns and lines that you get. So I'm going to continue using this because I just think it's so much fun. And I'm going to start creating more patterns. Sometimes picking up more white than gray. And pulling and flicking and wisping for some light, soft little hairs or feathers. See right in here, right under his, he's got his little beak tucked into his chest, and there's some really cute little, very soft tufts of hair and feathers in there. So we're just going to build this up. One layer at a time. Okay, now I'm going to switch over to a little fan brush. This is a 0. I'm going to dip my brush right in like that so it's all split apart. And this will help me create little sections of hair coming out over top of his beak. I'm going to tap under his eye, pull, and then flick. It's kind of going off and curving over a little bit like that. Come out just a little bit here, a little bit further with some of my gray, just so that it stands out with the white background. Okay, and I'm going to come in with a little bit of darker gray now. Just a little flick like that. Bring that part up higher. Tap, tap, tap for those little spots. Just gonna go back in a little bit more right in here. Back to straight white. Do a line right there. Another one right underneath. Get just a little bit of water on my brush. I'm going to go into my black. Bring that in a little bit more. And I'm going to just do some little side to side, little slants. Come back in here and add some more of the black. Then I'm going to go over to my liner brush again and work some more on his eye. I'm going to bring it up and over. It curves over like that, curves over, and then goes up. Just taking a little Filbert brush with a little bit of white paint. I'm gonna tap. Flat that out. Back to gray. A little bit of white because I've got a lot of black here. I'm just going to do, oh, looks like an eyelid, little taps. Okay, so I'm just going to come in with a little bit of light gray now, working on the shadow more right on the inside of his eye and above his eyelid, and then right under that little arch of black. So just little bits of light gray, and then I'm going to add a little bit of fluff right about there. Coming in with some more white now, just kind of under his beak there. So just lightly dabbing in little lines and little feathers, pulling down and flicking where I want them to look a little bit more wispy. And I'm still using just a little Filbert brush. Now you can get this look by using a round brush. You can also use a liner brush. I'm going to add more white to his eyes now, going over that gray to make it nice and bright so the color that I add later on really stands out. Taking more white. And get right close to the black line. Black ring around his eye here. Lots of white. Dark gray. Take our white, start here, and then get as close as we can, making that black line narrower there, and then bringing it up to about there. I'm going to start doing little flicks. Little flicks like this. Start pulling out all these little feathers that go off to the side of his beak. Make those ones look fuzzy. Give him a little eyelid like that. Okay, now I'm going to take a combination of neon pink and neon yellow. I'm just going to do the first layer here, and I'll dry it off. Okay, after I apply this first layer, I'm going to quickly dry it off, and then I'll be able to come in with a second layer. Before I do that, I'm just going to come in and add a little bit more of his beak showing, just with black and a liner brush. I'm then going to define a few more little feathers and black patches, shadows, and markings on him. So now that I've got the gray and a little bit more black in there, I can come in with white. And add it any way I want. You can go back to your little wisp brush if you wanted. There we go. I'm just going to add a few little taps in here, just light gray, a little light. And again, takes patience. We don't get it right the first time. Sometimes we do. It's nice when that happens, but it can take time to build up all the highlights and shadows. I think that it might be fun to add some color, a little bit of color with some blue violet, and I'm going to mix up ultramarine blue with white to make blue violet. So light blue violet is this one, but you can make it with ultramarine blue or cobalt blue and titanium white. So wherever I see a little highlight or some soft gray tones, I'm going to go ahead and add it. I think a little bit in there would look nice. A little on the feathers. Where it's darker, I can add just more of the like straight blue. So where we have the gray, let's just enhance it with a little bit of color. Why not, right? Why not have some fun? If we decide we don't like it, we can just go right over with white. So I've just got straight white now. A little hint of blue left in my brush. I'm going to take some yellow ochre, the other yellow, and a little bit of pink. So it's almost like a skin tone or a peachy color. And then I can also tint my white, right? And then add a little bit of that too, because that peachy color, because it is complementary with the blue, if you wanted to add some color. That would be a nice choice. I'm just going to take straight yellow and white. and add a little bit of that for a nice glow. Back to my fan brush. Just gonna get some more white on here. And start adding the final little bits of feathers. So I've got to get the bottom down here. I want to do just a very delicate, soft, pinkish background, and it's going to be really, really subtle. I'm just going to use my angle brush. You can use any brush that you want to. This is Luminous Opera. Just a really, really soft, peachy pink color. And I'm just adding a little bit of that luminous yellow to it as well. This just kind of goes really nice with that powdery blue that we've got. Kind of looks like maybe there's a sunset. Got a beautiful wintry feel to it. So the angle brush is nice because I can fit it in really closely. So you want to get almost as close as you can to the object you're painting around.
Alright, so this painting is all done. I had so much fun creating this, and I hope you guys want to paint along with me today. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, and leave a comment for this video. See you next time. Stay creative and happy, everybody. Bye!